Welcome back to Wedlocked and Loaded.
Wedlocked and Loaded.
You women.
Do not lump us all in one category.
So you girls and lie and stretch the truth and try to get us jammed up.
First of all, I'm a whole ass woman, right? Think about
no
that.
No disrespect.
Sounds like it to me. So why can't y'all? What is it with men that they just can't walk away?
Depends how good it is. You don't want to give that away. We're kind of invading Sparring Minds universe. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think it's more like a welcome
meeting of the minds.
Yes, meeting of the minds. You guys
meeting of the minds. Meeting of the minds.
And do the tapping with us, and
Word. So, you want to introduce? I'll be the. You know what I'm saying? So Wedlocked and Loaded. You know what I'm saying? This is Leah. I am Daniel. It's kind of like Penn and Teller, where one person does all the stuff, and then you have the person who's just like mime. And so when I put a coin in her back, she'll talk.
Yo, you gotta relax.
So we wanted to do a year-end wrap-up for a couple of reasons. I think one, you all and your format of the podcast is different than ours, where y'all shoot in seasons. You know what I'm saying? Which I think is probably a smarter thing to do, because it gives you a break and you can debrief and you can have strategy sessions and you can have life happen. You know what I'm saying? We've been going consistently every week, and we're at 92 episodes. Every Wednesday an episode comes out. And I just think that, for me, quality is important and consistency is important. And that's something that, especially where we're from, you just don't see it. And so it's always people who start something and they never quite finish. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll have great ideas and all this shit. And we can swear, right? We can swear.
Yeah,
so, everyone will have all these ideas about like starting organizations and building stuff from the ground, and nothing ever happens. And so I wanted to salute y'all for like consistently putting out a product and actually being creative and thoughtful, even with the imagery and the photo shoots and the topics in which y'all talk about. And I just thought this would be dope, because I don't see anyone else around here that could do a year-end wrap-up, and it would make sense.
I know that's right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So I'm starting early, and with that said,
we appreciate the wow.
Word.
You're just shooting all kind of shots, man. It's just going left and right.
Let me roll my sleeves up so we can start this night appropriately.
Yep.
There's a countdown that we have. We had a meeting of the minds, and we figured out 5 things. I think there's a lot to talk about, but we narrowed it down to 5 things. And with those 5 things, we can weave in and out of different pockets and see where everyone goes. But these are the 5 things that are impactful as we see it as a year-end wrap-up. We want to stay away from certain things, the brutality that's happening, Hamas and like just all of that. Like, we want to stay away from that, because I think the conversation may not be at a high level. I certainly don't understand it. I just know that babies shouldn't be murdered, right? So we want to stay away from stuff like that. Donald Trump is a goof. There's nothing to really talk about. Surprise. But there are some things that we wanted to dig into that we thought might be interesting. And I'm sure, Leah's going to have her take, and depending on how it goes, I'll cut the live off. You know what I mean? If she starts going crazy.
So before we dive in to the 5 topics, man, why don't you do us the honor of introducing your Wedlocked and Loaded to the audience? People who are watching us are familiar with who we are, but they may not be too familiar with who you guys are. So if you want to give us a quick intro, elevator pitch, whatever.
You got it.
So Wedlocked and Loaded, it's Leah and myself. We've been married 1 million years. We've been friends 1 million years. And, we've been in marriage therapy. We've been in individual therapy. And the idea was to create something that was almost putting the medicine in the candy, and it would give some tools and some resources, and also some funny anecdotal solutions to relationship issues and family issues, and just the family dynamic. So I don't call it a relationship show.
Right.
We talk as friends. Like, we'll say something, she might say something, I'll say something, I'll be like, shut the fuck up. Like, in relationship podcasts, because I've listened to some, they're like, oh dear, that's inappropriate. And, please don't, let's not. It's like, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
Or it doesn't go quite like that, but
I think it does. It does.
Yeah.
And the most recent show that came out this morning, it's talking about love bombing. And, Leah basically revealed to everyone that she love bombed me in high school.
It's not what happened.
It's exactly what happened.
Okay.
And so she was like, technically, I love bombed you. How does it feel? Right. But because we are raw and uncut, I'm taking my personal feelings or embarrassment, and likewise with Leah, we take that out and put it out there. Right. And we're at such a place where we can talk about all of the things that have caused us turmoil and issues, and really talk about it in a way where hopefully it helps other people. So everything from abuse to parenting to financial stuff to friendship, communication, all that. You roll your eyes?
You forgot the in-laws and all the things that come with relationships.
Are you talking about my family?
I mean, if I was talking about your family, I'll be very specific about who I would be talking about, right?
All right, guys.
Okay.
So that's the
welcome.
I would like to add just a little bit to that, but thank you. I think, being that we've been together for so long, people look at us and they say to us all the time, like, oh, you guys a couple of goals, you're our favorite couple, blah, blah, blah. And for a long time, like that felt like a lot of pressure, right? Because when that, you are going through whatever it is that you're going through in your relationship, and you're not necessarily putting it out there for everyone to see, because at the end of the day, it's nobody's business, right? It just makes it that much harder to actually deal with what you really got going on, right? And so I think for me, it was very important to show, like, yo, we might look like we got it all together, and for the most part, we're probably doing a lot better than a lot of other people, but we go through things. We go through things as well, and this is what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? And I think it just makes us that much more relatable as individuals, but also as a unit. And I think that that's something that's important to see, especially in our community.
100%.
Aw, you sound so articulate.
Because I am, nigga.
All right.
Well, yeah. We about to have some fun tonight. I can see it already. Energy's there. I love it. Yes. All right.
Hey,
all right. Here we go.
Oh, shit.
So the idea of the wrap up for those listening is that we wanted to, without going above and beyond because so much shit happened this year, right? We wanted to kind of take those things and kind of put them in buckets and to kind of simplify some of the conversations we plan to have. And of course, it's Hip Hop 50, so there's going to be some Hip Hop 50 related discussions involved and all of that. But there's no other holdups, y'all. I say let's get to it.
That's fine.
Let's get to it.
All right, so the big number 5.
I got you. No worry, I got you.
So relationships. I mean, we're that's all encompassing with the most recent Tiana, Iman, Remy Papoose, Jeezy, Beanie Mai,
Cass Diddy,
Cardi and Offset.
Yeah. Would Cass and Diddy would that be a relationship though?
Wait, hold on, guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Wait. Why did you say that?
Because it's
that's no, Leah.
punk.
Don't do. Okay, so we'll start here. So she said that punk ass. What'd you say?
I don't even know what I said, but
she said that punk ass motherfucker party.
Was that really about you when she said she caught her man getting head in her bed? Was that about you? I didn't know if that was about you or she was just rapping.
I ain't seen nobody else trend. I only seen.
But that don't mean nothing. You know the truth.
I do know the truth, and I know what was discussed between us. So
So is that something she accused you of, getting head in her bed?
It's a loose interpretation of events.
Make it tight for us. Like, we want to understand. Because when you say you walked into your man getting head in the bed, I'm envisioning her.
That sounds very specific.
Yeah,
right?
I'm envisioning her walking in and going off on Shorty.
And this is why I was like, this is absolutely not the case, and that's why I felt like a record like The Person needed to happen.
So that's not cool, right?
For who?
She threw a shot.
She didn't.
She said, "I caught you in the bed, getting head while I sleep."
Yeah.
Everyone assumed it was him.
That's not her problem.
She didn't come out and say
Is it her problem?
It is.
It's not.
All right. So anyway, exactly.
I expected more out of Party in that situation.
Really?
Thank you.
Yeah, because it feels like he jumped out the window. My fault.
Yeah, I feel like when you're taking shots lyrically, you usually keep it there lyrically, right? Like he's going on this whole press tour and saying all this crazy stuff, and it's like, oh, just keep it in keep it in the music. We don't need to know what y'all was going through. We can just make our own opinion based on what y'all are talking about in these songs.
And if he didn't do it,
what everybody's doing, right?
Yeah,
like
if he didn't do it, if it don't fly, if it don't apply, let it fly. If it wasn't you and you know it wasn't you, why do you have to reply to it?
Yeah.
Right.
But is it so? Okay, so and I'm not being funny or facetious, but I received that.
Do you?
I do, Leah.
Go ahead.
Don't step. Let me land, yo. So, but the flip side is, as a person is in a relationship and it ended for whatever reason, and the things that led to, and the public embarrassment that came from, definitely there's a certain embarrassment that came towards him being with somebody and putting his arm around her, and everybody's like, yo, she fucked my man too, blah, blah, blah. And she's lying and saying, yo, I didn't do nothing with him. And he's actually going back and forth with these dudes, and if they bump into each other, they can get into it. All these things are happening, and then they break up. He feels whatever he feels. And so for him to hear, because the same thing y'all just said, the flip side is she could have easily made that whole song about everything else and left that little tidbit out. But she put that in there because she knew that it would get all of our wheels spinning.
So here's the thing, right? I feel like this, like with art, right? Like if I want to put a lyric in, first of all, most of these motherfuckers that be rapping don't even be talking real shit that they actually do in their lyrics.
Shout out to 21 Savage.
Right?
He said everything's capped.
So for her, why is it that she couldn't have taken somebody else's scenario and mixed it in with her lyrics? Mm-hmm. Like, just because she said it doesn't mean that it is actually factual, that it's her life.
Shout out to Fat Joe.
Yeah, I was to say, that was exactly what came to mind. He said 95%.
Like,
yeah.
Again, we're viewed as couples goals, the perfect couple, people's favorite couples. They don't know what the fuck we've gone through, right? And so if they heard some shit, it like.
Well, you put it out there. You said you love bomb me, so they have heard it.
Boy, bye.
Anyway,
no, that didn't count. We was under 25.
So anyway, I mean, would I have done that?
Yes.
Really? You think I would have?
Yes. You've made songs about me, dog. Like, let's be honest.
Oh shit!
You broke that.
Not diss tracks. I hope. No diss
tracks.
Oh
no!
Yo!
You hit her up? Did you hit her up?
Yeah.
Hit her up. Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah. I mean, Valentine's Day, she disappeared.
Don't do it.
Well, you put it out.
I didn't. What I said was what I said.
So I felt the way, and I used my creative license.
as did Meg.
But then
and then Party came with all his emo.
This is that okay. So I'll say this last piece, and we can move on from
But
Cardi.
we can let the people have their
No, I will say my last piece, and then
okay.
I feel like what tends to happen is there's a whole lot of subliminals that gets thrown, right? Sometimes you need to put a name on that bullet, right? Or don't throw stones and hide your hand, and don't say that you didn't say, or this was for, or this is hypothetical. And then you want to now react to me feeling the way I feel. So, right. If I say like, yeah, fuck all these podcasts and all these dudes, you know what I'm saying? 4 or 5 dudes getting together and talking shit. Right. Y'all can absolutely hear that comment and be like, yo, is he talking about it? Like, what other Team Jerk don't have a podcast? Who is he talking about? Right. And then when y'all approach me and I'm like, oh, I'm talking about Joe Budden. Yeah, like, come on.
But here's the thing, right? Had he just addressed maybe that one line, like he just went on a complete tangent.
Well, people are asking him.
Who?
Everyone.
Yeah, he could have addressed the cheating line.
Yeah.
And just left it at that.
I don't know.
But he went on a whole tangent. And you sitting up here flaunting your new chick. Like, dog, what are you doing? Like, what I don't like, and I'm gonna flip it just for a second, and then we can get back on it. But what I don't like is when a dude
breaks up.
Language. Don't talk to me. When a dude breaks up with his chick, right? For however long they've been together, whatever it is, when they break up, and the first thing they do is, and I don't mind it, right? Because I've been taught the fastest way to get over one is to get underneath another.
Be a lady, Leah. Be a lady.
So I understand it, but what is the purpose of intentionally trying to make your ex jealous? What do you get out of that? Right? Like you're sitting up here flaunting your new chick. You're not just like you were so private before, right? But now everything is so public and up for discussion and for everybody's view, for their viewing pleasure. Like, this nigga led with emotions. Like his ego was bruised and it's showing.
And that's okay, yo. We're human beings. Yeah. That's the problem.
And that's okay too. Be human. However, don't sit up there and act as if that's not what that is.
Yeah, I never understood that either.
Yeah.
So
Party got to be better, man.
Yeah, you got to do better than that.
You got to be better than that.
Yes to that. That's okay. That's why I didn't toast to you.
Gotta have that mindset of it's a small thing to a giant. Like whatever. If she's gonna go there, you don't just because someone goes low, you don't have to go lower.
Yeah.
Not in every case.
And sometimes, not in every situation.
Okay, so other issue is Iman and Tiana. Right? So Tiana seemed as if she was going out of her way to hold him in high regards. Right, and not talk about people throwing shots at him, and she took up for him, and then I don't know exactly what happened, but he did something where he made it public with the divorce or something like that.
Yeah, divorce decree.
So the details of it or something like that. Yeah.
Oh,
he put it out there. They shouldn't have.
Yeah, I remember seeing her post something about like just have people respecting their privacy or whatever. And I didn't know why she posted it. I was like, this is out of the blue. What happened? I didn't see that.
She was saying to respect the privacy, but she was also, like Daniel said, she was also saying like, yo, give my man's a break. Like, yo, we're friends. We're good. We're going to do this co-parenting thing. Right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, now I can't even have your back, dog. Like I'm trying to, even in the midst of what we're going through, at whose ever fault it is, or if it's a mutual thing, I'm still trying to protect you, black man. Right? And this is what you do? Yeah. Make it make sense. Again, I got a big ego.
Yeah, he led with his feelings.
Yeah, another one.
Yeah, he led with his feelings, unfortunately.
2 for 2. City boys are down.
2 for 2. Down. Shit.
Okay, so Cardi and Offset.
Yeah.
She goes live.
Yeah.
Screaming, crying.
Yeah.
Real emotions.
Absolutely.
That probably could have been a phone call to him.
Absolutely not.
Or to her mother.
You know what?
I don't know if her mother's live, but God bless, thoughts and prayers.
She is.
But, when you put it out there, Now it's up for everyone. Now it's year end wrap up.
Yeah.
So
was it him first? I mean, was it her first? I thought it was him first.
She reacted to something he did.
Fuck that shit.
He didn't say nothing. I think he said something like, my girl's out here cheating or something like that. But I think he took, I don't know. They got a weird dynamic.
From what I heard in the research I did, he was apparently too buddy with the ops.
Oh, Nikki? And
no, apparently
the last bitch he fucked
Cardi has some drama with some girl.
Oh yeah,
restraining order, court order, all this other stuff.
Oh, the girl in the club?
6ix9ine's ex girl, child's father, whatever the case is.
Mm-hmm.
And they went to court. She got found guilty. She had to take care of some whatever. But apparently he was like rubbing shoulders and attended her birthday party and did all this other stuff. And it's like
City Boys looking like we about to go down.
Oh man!
Listen.
Of all women to be around, man, that's like the one you're not supposed to be around. Like you can excuse and understand any other woman in that situation, but of all women, that's the one you're gonna be buddy with.
That's the one you die in the hell.
Flaunt it like it ain't nothing. Nah,
man.
That's
that. He's been out like
Leah, take a sip, please.
No, I just have a question.
Please,
no.
No
I have a
questions.
So first of all,
we've talked enough. Let them talk and take a sip.
This is how they're gonna talk. I'm gonna ask my question.
Oh my god!
Yeah. You see?
I don't.
Okay, well you will. Okay, my question.
Yeah.
Not saying that you men have ever done such a thing, right?
Here we go.
But I'm sure you know some other fellas that have. Why?
That have done what? Like
what Offset has done.
What?
Just hanging with the ops. Like just can't get out of their own way.
I'm still alive, so I know better.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I'd be a chalk outline if I did that.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. Why would you do that?
Listen, us men, we do some stupid things sometimes, man, but that's one thing that most men will never do. If they do,
like,
they got no kind of sense.
You gonna mess with the girl your girl got drama with?
Yeah, man, like,
so I'm just asking. Okay, so you're saying that you don't know nobody in your circle or in proximity to your circle that has ever done anything to that magnitude in terms of flirting with.
I've known of men in my circle that were known to have been or rumored to have been engaged in adult activities with some of the same women. Mm-hmm. However, there was never any beef tied to it.
Oh, wow.
So there's a difference there.
Yeah.
Because some people are just for the streets and for everybody, right?
Absolutely.
But when you get to a situation where it's like, you know, Tupac, Biggie, and Faith, it's different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's crazy. I don't understand how you could even. He's bugging.
Unless you was out there trying to set her up and do something to help Cardi or whatever, cool. But I don't know.
Yeah,
like that slide. You can't help her that way. And if that's what you're doing, then what's the first thing that you need to do? You should communicate with your wife. Communicate with the one that you are laying down with, that you have professed your love for, that you done interrupted her motherfucking concert to beg her to come back. What?
You have to watch your language.
Why? They said we can swear.
But there's like a minimum of swears, and we need to be mindful.
Okay, I'm gonna say motherfucker.
Leah, that's true.
And motherfucking
Leah, 3.
You want to keep counting?
Stop, yo. Just
anyway.
Like I said, be a lady.
You stop interrupting me.
That's what Offset did, right?
Absolutely. You claiming to be the new Offset?
Nah, D, no way. No way.
No, we do that for our wives. Yo. We interrupt the program to profess our love. So I'm professing my love publicly on Sparring Minds.
And then you embarrass her publicly? Come on, stop it. You can't do that.
I'm not embarrassing you. I'm just telling you.
You be all right.
I know. So anyway, so in the relationships that I think can maybe lead to the next thing is Sean Combs
Yikes.
And yeah. And
you didn't want to do Papoose and Remy first?
I don't even know what to say about that. I don't understand. I don't believe. I don't know. I think that, you know, I just heard the video of the dude. Did you hear the video of Easy the Block Captain talking about he actually confirmed that Pat punched them and
that? So it's just like, you know, as far as that, like, because it's just, how is that going to work? How is it going to work though now? Like, even if you go back with the ball, right? Which, all right, I'll come out, explain everything that happened. Yo, we was fucking with each other. You was cheating on ball, such and such, and whatever happens. Let's say Love and Hip Hop pick it up. Y'all get back together. How does now? I get a bag. You know what I mean? I get a little bag. I get a little check, couple little, you know what I'm saying? Such and such a.
I don't know. I mean, this is all publicity and promotion for her battle rap league.
Yep.
But I just thought more of them to stoop to this. I don't know what I make of that.
So you think it's a publicity stunt? I
don't know. I feel like they are so deep in. If that was the case, Pat would jump out the window and not allow this guy to walk around. I think he would throw it out the window.
No, he pull a party and go in the studio and make some crazy.
He already did a bid with Rem. He is a father to his children. He's not gonna jeopardize that. I don't feel like he would jeopardize that.
He's a man and he has pride and he has ego.
And he can have all of that and still check it.
Shit, I'm a man with pride. You don't do shit like that.
I don't know.
He can have all of that. So, but again, we don't know what's going on in their relationship.
I think he'd be down for anything else but that for promo.
Yeah, I think so. But like, I don't know. I you know, the only ones we have left, I guess, is Barack and Michelle. Like literally, it's all falling apart, yo. Literally, in 1 year, all of the goals, quote unquote, have all fallen apart.
Some people believe J and B are still theirs.
I mean, they had their problems. They had their problems, but they're going strong still.
Yeah, fair
problems
enough.
Are normal though. Problems are normal. Yeah. Problems are normal. Man. It's gonna happen.
But you know, there's different severities of I don't know. I just, you know, I don't know. I tell you this: if you are with, I mean, and people do things, you know, people have needs and people have weaknesses and all that. You know what I'm saying? But if you're with a lesser version of me, and I don't know what that looks like, I'm gonna have a problem with that.
Oh, you're talking to me?
I'm talking to you.
Oh, why would I be with the lesser version of you?
Flag on the play.
I don't know if that's a compliment or a slight, but in any case, we'll move on.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah. So should we save Cassie and Diddy and go into 4?
Go into 4, man.
Okay. 4. All right. So this is a big one.
Yeah.
So accountability. So you know, let's open with this. What going around the room? What did everyone feel about Cassie's allegations and the time in which it took for a settlement?
That motherfucker did it. Yo, straight up, man. Like, yo. He did it. He did it, man. Yeah. He did it. He was saying,
take that. Okay, so that's the perspective of that. But did anyone in this room feel a way about her taking the settlement and kind of going away, so to speak?
I did at first because I didn't know the exact details of everything that went on, but I guess it's past statute of limitations, so she can't charge him criminally. So there's no point in going through with the trial. You might as well just take whatever he gives, or supposedly the insurance companies give you, because she went out for operations instead of him.
because she named all his corporations, which is smart.
Right.
And with the insurance, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's for.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if she went after Diddy himself, he would have dragged it out though.
Right.
Yeah. And so because he is, it is what it is. So he is public, right? And he's publicly made his comments. And shout to him because we did meet. But Mayor Thomas, he has said, like he stands with Diddy, right? In the sense of like all these things being money grabs. There's someone else who I won't name who I unfollowed, who literally said, like, see, this is why I don't believe chicks when they come forward. I'm like, Jesus Christ, guys, like read the room, yo.
Wow.
And it's easy to say. And so I put that out there. So now my next comments, because I know how things work. And so my next comments are not all geared towards Mayor Thomas at all. I was saying that because he has put that out there publicly, that that's what he feels or felt. But I feel like if you are a victim in said thing, right, it's easy to say like, oh, you should have said something back then. Or
Always.
You should have told the police, or you should have filed a lawsuit back then. It doesn't work like that.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? And there's real situations that I'm currently in and that I'm around where something happened 15, 20 years ago, and the person is just now speaking about it, right? And it's not a money grab attached to it. Like it's easy to say that. That's not how it works.
Right.
And even if you don't understand, and again, referencing to what I said at the top of the show about we're not talking about, what's happening in Palestine because we're not going to necessarily have a high level POV or take of it, right? Yeah. So it's just best to stay to just be quiet. And being quiet doesn't mean that you are in compliance and you're approving of. It's just you don't have the knowledge to be able to speak on it. Mm-hmm. So it's okay for guys in this situation of women sharing their turmoil and truths. It's okay for us to literally be quiet. You do not have to tweet. You do not have to put up a post. You do not have to call your man and say, yo, I think all these bitches is money grabbing. Cool. Once you put that shit on social media, bro, like some of your women followers
have been victims,
and they're probably going through in real time.
Oh, yeah. I also would say I wouldn't even put a gender on that, right? Because when that first came out, and still currently, right? Because there's still new allegations dropping, right? Women have also been on the opposing side, right? And saying, oh, he didn't do it. It's a money grabbing, blah blah blah, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not even gender specific. It's just people, right? Like if you have never been a victim of sexual assault or DV, then you don't have any grounds to actually voice your opinion and be so strong on that stance where you then blame the victim, right? Like that ain't cool.
Yeah. I don't know if people are seeing it as they're blaming.
Of course they are.
I don't know if they're seeing it as I think they're expressing their opinion about it. I don't think they are seeing it as they are blaming the victim, but that's how
they are, because why didn't you say something when it first happened? Right. You're still saying, well, it's my fault that it happened to me, and it's my fault that I didn't say anything early on. Yeah, right. So they are victim blaming.
But you know what I will say, and if anyone listening, if you go on YouTube, Jamel Hill, she had an unbelievable take about this. And talks about it, and it's not a long thing. It might be like 20 minutes, but she put it in such a way where I said, if someone hears that and they still feel the way they feel, something's off.
Yep.
She had such a way of articulating and saying like, yo, she was a victim of the person didn't go forward. I don't want to ruin it, but basically like she has experience with DV. Her mother has experience with DV. Yep. It's been over 20 years. Yeah. There's still no justice. And so if there's any kind of thing that they can get as an acknowledgement and something that's on record, you know what I'm saying? They would happily take it. And I think what I'll say is with the Cassie thing, it's actually brilliant of how that came out and all of the allegations, because then the floodgates are open, right? And we've seen, and yes, absolutely, there's people that take advantage of the system. You know what I'm saying? There are people that manipulate the system no matter what. So you're going to have people that never met Puff just come like, he touched me too, right? But for the most part, it takes so much for a person to come forward. Like, that's not the hill that most people want to die on.
Well, another thing to understand is there's a lot of shame in coming forward in these situations to begin with.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, she could have gone forward as soon as it happened, but you probably got people in the air saying, oh, you can't go against a guy like this. He's going to ruin your career, or he's going to do you know what I mean?
And I'm sure they said that.
So I'm sure she had her bouts with, should I say something? Should I not? The pros and cons of everything. And, you know, I think that the pros got outweighed. And by that, she just had to like kind of sit on her hands for a bit. But at some point, she got out of that funk and decided, you know what?
Let's do it,
man. You know, I need people to know that I was wronged.
Right. And I also think too, like, you know, again, you know, I feel like when you love someone, right, you still, in a sense, even if they have done you wrong, even if they have hurt you physically, emotionally, mentally, all the things, even if they have hurt you, there's still a form of damn, like I still need to protect this person because I loved him at one point. I was in love with him at one point. And even though he hurt me or they hurt me and they did me wrong, like, I don't have to try to cause harm to them. The best thing I can do is just actually step away, you know? But you know, but that trauma is real. But again, that's not even looking out for self. That's looking out for you. But you know, whatever. Yeah.
And that's happening, especially with the short film that Leah and I, you know, have. It is amazing silence from Black men in the community in which we know, in which we love, in which we look up to and respect and maybe be mentors, right? And I took it personal at one point, and it bothered me for a really long time of like not being seen. But I've realized, and whether it's true or not, whatever, right? But I feel like people may have their own struggles and bouts with domestic violence and what that looks like. And so if you go and try to stand on a hill, you might end up kicking a hornet's nest. And so similar to Diddy, it's silence, right? Can Fab actually get out on a platform and say what he feels about DV when that video was circulating around with him? Right? Can anybody? I mean, you know.
And I think this is why a lot of this behavior has gone on as long as it's gone on. Because they're covering for each other. Yeah, like it's been documented for years that Fab was involved in some DV stuff, but
and I mean the list goes, and it's tough because you know I think Chris Rock, the special that what was it, Selective Outrage? I think that was a brilliant title, like like sometimes I'll hear things, a title, or I'll hear a song, and I'm like, damn, I wish I came up with that. Selective Outrage is unbelievable because if we think about, you know, every kiss begins with K's, and then you know you wanna propose to your lady, and you get down on one knee, you go to K's or whatever, but also tracing where that diamond came from, and that it might be a 12-year-old whose arm was cut off, right? or the cell phones that we spend $900 or $1,500 on are, you know, like who's making those, or the rapper that we love, or R. Kelly. Like R. Kelly is not just R. Kelly. It's a system of it, of like all the enablers, the people, Jeffrey Epstein, the woman who was like bringing that. She's actually worse in my opinion.
Yep.
She's bringing the women who look like her and have her parts, bringing them to the lion.
You know what?
I don't know. I won't say worse.
I was gonna say, please refrain.
I won't say worse,
because who knows what trauma she endured.
Yeah, but
and was enduring at that time to do that, right? But, like she could have been trafficked.
But that's where accountability comes in, and that is where.
But then, and I'm not making it an excuse, right? But again, we don't know what trauma she has endured, right? And it's not that she wants to inflict that pain on others. She just doesn't want, she's it's kind of self-preservation. Well, you know, I don't know these people, so I can't really,
off of her.
You know what I'm saying? I can't really say what went down. However, I can assume, based off of my own knowledge of the topic itself, that she's just like, you know, let me self-preserve, right?
And than me,
get the heat off of me.
Yeah, that's real.
And not to come across as victim blaming, because that's far from what this is, but I would encourage people that are victims to come forward a little faster. I know everyone takes their own time to process stuff, but come forward faster to avoid it happening to someone else.
In the perfect world, that would happen.
Yeah.
Right. In a perfect world, that would happen. You know, I'm gonna be very I'm gonna be at some point accountability party, even if she felt.
Yeah, right is right and wrong's wrong.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You was gonna say?
Oh yeah. So what I was gonna say, I'm gonna parent, right? I was what, 18, 19? I was about 18. I was dating this dude, probably just turned 19. I was dating this dude and we broke up, right? I'm talking about he's calling my aunts, he's calling my friends, he's just trying to get in touch with me. And because I wouldn't take his phone call. I finally took his phone call because now he's not only calling me, he's having other people call. I finally take his phone call and agreed to meet up with him, right? He's like, I just want to talk to you. I want to apologize and blah, 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 blah. Silly me, right? Not sticking to my own. And here's the thing. I never would have seen this coming because there was never anything, you know, we never argued with each other. Like there was nothing that would have raised the red flags, right, for me. However, I ended up meeting with the people and he held me up at gunpoint.
Jesus.
Sheesh.
Now, I got away, clearly, and thank God, right? However, you know, he would ride down my street. I would hear the car, you know what I'm saying? Drive down the street. I never told my mother. And at the time I was living with my mother, I never told anybody. I told one person and it just spilled out. And I think it spilled out in a way where they didn't even process what I was saying. Right. But also could have been going through their own trauma that it just, they were there and they could see me, but couldn't, they weren't really present. Right. My point is that years later, again, I still never said anything, right? But it wasn't until years later where something else happened because I blocked it out. Something else happened that triggered that memory, that triggered that trauma. And then it felt like, oh my God, like who else has he done this to? Who else could he do this to? Right. You know? Yeah. And so then now, thank you so much, Tracy. then now,
Trinice.
oh, I'm sorry, I can't see. I need glasses.
You do, babe.
I do.
God bless.
And then he wants to feed me tequila at the same time, which is crazy.
Well, I got.
But anyway, you done? But I think even that, and I don't know if anything else happened to anybody at his hands, right? But then I started at blaming myself, like, damn, it's my fault that he wasn't held accountable, that I didn't hold him accountable, and now he could be, creating more victims out there.
Yeah,
right. So it's literally, it's a double, when you don't say any, like, it's literally a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
And so,
So one last point before we move into the next.
Absolutely.
Next
Sorry
topic.
for such a heavy, you know what I mean?
Now listen, life happens.
Yeah.
We get it.
Yeah.
We get it.
Yeah.
But one last thing on accountability before we move on to the next one, and you can kind of treat this as some sort of a segue, but what level of accountability should we be expecting from members of the hip hop community? And from there, we can slide right into the next one because they go hand in hand.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. I think that. So are we officially at 3?
Yeah.
3. Oh, we can go
okay,
right.
Yeah, we go right to 3.
So,
yes, sir.
So I've said this before, and I'll say it every time I have an opportunity to have a platform. My adult life, most of it is spent unlearning. So the things that I celebrated, from Porky's, the scenes in that movie, to
wow, you took
it back.
He took it back. Whoa.
Revenge of the Nerds.
I forgot about those movies.
Revenge of the Nerds, with
Revenge of the
saying?
Nerds.
Doggy Style, Ain't No Fun. You know what I'm saying? Which I love that I sing that record, right? But there's a difference of having, like, I remember, and I always talk about this, the Dr. Dre video. I think it was Nothing But a G thing, where the girl was playing volleyball or something. They ran behind and took her top off and ran.
Yeah.
Like, I remember watching that, like, oh, or like Dame Dash pouring champagne on a girl, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait till I get champagne. But it's like
tip drill.
Yeah, tip drill with the, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, having daughters should change and shift a man's perspective a little bit. Unfortunately, it's not, right? And you have people who, I personally like older women, right? And I mean older, so Nia Long is a hot topic. I always loved, like, she was my favorite, right? Yeah. But like Iman, Vanessa Williams, etc. I like them, right? Lotto is a beautiful girl. She's the same age as my daughter. No thanks.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Donald Trump making comments like, if that wasn't my daughter, I would date her. And it's like, what?
That's,
you know what I'm saying?
Wild.
So
he said that?
Yeah, he said that numerous times. Yeah.
He's wild.
But hey, that's the thing. And so for me, and so my last little piece of just the accountability piece is, you have some who have done the work on themselves, and I think therapy is so important. And as much as he gets his critique on other things, I'm so appreciative that Charlemagne took that crown and kind of ran with it, and took that baton and led with it, right? And so you see the effects of the old Charlemagne watching those interviews, and they were funny, right? But it was kind of wild. And seeing him now, and it's different. And you listen to Jeezy doing an interview, and you're like, wow, this is therapy in real time. Like Jeezy, like the snowman, is talking like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and so you hear a difference of when you hear Jeezy talking and you hear Jim Jones, right? And I fuck with Jim, but it's a difference.
Definitely.
And I would much rather be with the Jeezys and the J's and the people who have self-reflected and they know the harm that they've caused. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, some guys have evolved and have taken accountability, and you can hear it in their music. Jay's 444 album was proof of him evolving and growing and taking accountability for certain ways he thought. Nas's past few albums, you've heard it.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Just I think it may just come with age for some guys, but we need to
No,
mature.
It's not age. Unfortunately.
No,
I mean, I think
it's definitely not age.
Combination of things. I think growth is growth, and everyone should be forever evolving, right? But I also think that it makes it a lot easier when you have the right people, in your circle surrounding you.
That's tough.
Saying the right things in your ear. And here's the thing: the reality is that we hear and do what we want, and so no matter who we are around, it may or may not have an effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But people have to take a stand on right and wrong. And so back to the R. Kelly thing, there's a lot of enablers. And unfortunately, in these circles, if everyone on this call, if everyone on this live is holy shit.
What am I looking at?
It's been a hustle fighting.
Uh-oh. Hello, sir.
What's good, baby?
Yo.
This is Sparring Minds listeners. First off, blessings. Your boy been away for a little bit. I'm home. I'm tuned in to an incredible episode. Shout out to the family. Shout out to everybody who's rocking out tonight. We're talking I don't think you folks realize who was on this show tonight. We're talking about a team of Leah and Daniel who are on the front lines of illustrating these type of traumatic relationships. They have incredible salute on Cry For Me. They are out here doing the work to illustrate these kind of stories. And they don't get enough flowers, honestly. And so while I'm laid up in the bed and my girl's nagging me and talking my ear off about why, I said, nah, I got to get on here. I got to talk to the camp about how incredible these folks are, how important. Salute to y'all. I appreciate y'all blessing us with such an immense amount of talent. You guys absolutely belong in the most incredible things that are happening in 2023. Salute to y'all. We out of here. Appreciate y'all.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Wow.
Salute us. Salute Hustle.
Hustle. Love you, King.
And he just really got up. Hi, my girlfriend.
That's the way. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I wasn't sure. He said my girl.
Yeah.
But, okay, bye, wife.
So just in the sense of just accountability. So now transitioning to Hip Hop 50 in general.
Hip Hop 50, the 50th year. So,
a ton of celebrations. I love hip hop. Grew up with it, in it, owning it, feeling a part of it. So to see it celebrated, I appreciate it. Some are a little cheesy. But I think what's important I wanted us to talk about was, KRS, MC Shan, and Hammer in particular chose to opt out of the Grammys celebration of them.
I didn't know about Hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Questlove said they begged him to do it. And, I get KRS's perspective.
Absolutely.
Hammer, I don't. And, so KRS One, he basically said, we weren't allowed at the Grammys, right? So you have 49 years of having us not included, and all of a sudden now you want to celebrate us. No thanks.
I was asked about 2 months ago, they asked me to do it, and I turned them down. With all due respect, LL Cool J himself called me, spoke to my wife, and pretty much begged for me to be on the show, but we turned them down. And reason being is because I know people don't understand this. And actually, let me get to the question of S1Ws, but I'll say this into the record. Never will you ever see me standing in the environment where our culture is being exploited. So when I got the call,
I appreciate that, but then the flip side of it is you absolutely are a part of the evolution of this thing.
Yeah.
And so you have to, in my opinion, you have to be there. I think that that's a hip hop conversation. And unfortunately, like Black people, we tend to not be on code, which bothers the fuck out of me, right? We can't get on code about anything. We can't get on code about boycotting stashes. We can't be on code about boycotting a clothing brand. It's always, Maine wants to do this. Leah wants to do that. D wants to do this. Like, we can't be on code. I just would love if KRS had a conversation with everyone there and said, yo, we all do it or none of us does it.
Yeah. I would have loved that, because it's like, I see his point, but like you said, he's a part of it. And anyone that knows hip hop knows, like, it's almost like he wanted to take the stamp away from them. Like, yo, this isn't officially a hip hop 50 without me, so I'm taking the stamp away. But
yeah, that's why
other guys there that were official. You know what I mean? So it's like he should, like you said, it should have been uniform, all or none.
Yeah. And I think that was such a great job that, like, I'm not going to give credit to the Grammys. Yes, they are the umbrella, and so they allowed it, but that absolutely was Jesse Collins and that was Questlove that curated that.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is the first hip hop, and I still haven't seen all of it because I was trying to get it and they was having some issues, so I couldn't see all of it. And I know it's on the Paramount app, but for some reason, every time I play it, it would never play, which again, hip hop is fucking still being blackballed and shunned. But every time I try to play it, it won't play. But to have a segment with Boosie and Luke,
Luke,
let
me see your doo-doo
brown. And to have Rakim on the same stage, and then it's so, like, if you're a real student of it, when you see your heroes flawed and all, talk about accountability, right? You see your heroes flawed and all, but it's like, damn, like Scarface just did NPR Tiny Desk.
Mm-hmm.
That was a masterclass of artistry.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so when people name these lists of like, oh, top 3 Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, absolutely, right? But I go out of my way to not say them for my top. Because what about AZ? And I'm glad that he was on Drink Champs, right? I love AZ. One of my favorites. Please shut up. You have AZ. What about Tretch? What about Redman?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, what about Scarface? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I feel like even to come to the table to say how we're going to do this, you should have known off the rip that you needed more than a day.
Yep.
Absolutely.
This should have been a weeks-long thing.
Mm-hmm. And that's still not long enough.
Exactly, but at least you had, each day had its own.
Each day, each region, or
something.
You could do different regions.
You could theme it or something. You know what I mean? Because everyone would have been. You wouldn't, because if you do regionally, then it gets a little bit, I don't know, expected or whatever. But if you had a themed different day, there's always an artist that can fit into those themes and can perform something
for sure
fit into those themes. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Now you got something to carry us for the week that people are going to be talking about.
We're talking about the hip hop 50 or the Grammys.
The Grammys did have it sectioned off. I believe they did regionally.
Well, they did regionally, but like So I'll tell you, and kudos, yes, it's definitely self-serving, but I want to give flowers to LL for, you know, he created Rock the Bells, the tour, right? The festival is one part. Then he has the radio station, and then he has the tour that he just did. The what was it called? Force, right? Which basically was a LL Cool J concert packaged around hip hop, right? Because if he was going to say LL's doing a tour, I don't know how those seats would have exactly, right? We know that. So kudos to him for good for him.
Yeah.
But what he said on the Breakfast Club a while ago was, instead of being bitter, he'll rather spend time being better. So, you know, there wasn't a radio station to play KRS and Rakim and Roxanne Shante. So he created it, right? He created the Rock the Bells Festival and gave equity to Fab Five Freddy and these different people. Nas recently just did the Paid in Full foundation or the fund or whatever it is and gave Scarface and Rakim $500,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
wow.
We have to do that.
My man is dope. I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's the ad lib you felt?
Absolutely.
Out of everything I said, that's
my man is dope. Yeah.
Salute. Salute. So, you know, but like you look at you know, you have people and the reality is with Hip Hop 50 and people like, I just don't like when people just take blanket shots at a gesture, right? And I think sometimes gestures are tokens, but look within that, see who's a part of it, give it a chance, really do a not calculated, do an intelligent deep dive instead of just doing clickbait, right? So like when Jay partnered with NFL, everyone had something to say. And I still don't really have an opinion. But Jay-Z, in my opinion, has earned enough equity for me to trust his play, right? So I'll give him that. As far as the halftime shows, I'm sure it's more than that he is. But like we've never seen halftime shows like what we've seen, right?
And Mary J and Exhibit,
that was great. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but aside from that, I think that there are like infrastructures that he is helping to bring forth just because of who he is. So I say that to say in closing from my part is like, you know, there are our heroes that people have cast to the side because hip hop is all about new. So Glorilla, fucking 21 Savage, Little Yachty, whatever, right? Red. Sexy Red, yeah, and all that, and all that. I was gonna say bullshit. All that, right? And you cast away from Camp Low, you cast away from J. Rue the Damager, you cast away from fucking Red Alert, and so with Hip Hop 50, it has allowed these people to tour and get money and feed their families. So how are you mad at that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In a real way. How is anyone mad at that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
like,
you know.
You can't shit on where you've been. Like, you have to acknowledge that because without, even in our day, without James Brown or anything like that beforehand, hip hop may never have evolved or may have never come about because of the breaks that were being spun backwards for MCs to rhyme on. So for us to be like, oh, they sucked or something like that, like it would have been disrespectful and it would have been ignorant more than anything. You know what I mean? So like when people do make those blanket statements shitting on the past of the culture, it's like, do you really understand the culture if you're doing that? You know what I mean? So
this is a great segue, man. You want to take it over?
Oh man,
you know what's next. We know what's next.
Holy shit!
Woo!
Go!
All right.
You know what's next.
Oh man.
Do you actually have the list?
Not the drum roll.
I don't have the list. You're not gonna make me go look for this list.
Of course you don't have the list. How convenient. How convenient, guys.
Which one? The MCs, the DJs?
Payne must be doing his research.
No, I'm just asking. I can find it quick.
Yeah, we can pull it up, man. We can reference it.
Pull it up to reference it, man.
I like that. Y'all ahead.
So
what was the motivation behind making that list?
So it is the 50th year of hip hop. I'm a music lover. I love hip hop, and sometimes I'm a chef and I like to stir the pot a little bit, but different ways with stirring the pot. You know what I mean? Not always in the kitchen. So I was just thinking, I'm like, man, I just want to get something started. I think I was inspired by a list I saw like for the 50th year. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do this. And I'm just only going to talk about artists in Boston or in the state of Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I picked 25 guys. I probably changed it a couple of times before I actually hit live on it. Like I kept scrolling through. I think I was trying to get my brother's opinions in the group chat. Guys were just ignoring me. Like I don't want no parts of it, man. You know what I mean? Kind of like leave me on the island. So then when it comes out, they're like, yo, what the fuck, man? Yo, why didn't you say nothing? I'm like, bro, I hit dudes up in the group chat. Everybody was ignoring it. So
they left you on the island.
They left me on the island. That's cool though. I know how to swim. I'm good. You know what I mean? So, I put something together, man. And I think you were on it. I think you were on the list. If I'm
me?
I'm mistaken. You were on the list. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I'm absolutely on the list.
I did. I did. I did 2 lists, and I think they were the best rappers who I felt were the best rappers like right now. Right? Yeah.
No, you did all time.
No, it was all time and it was right now.
Okay.
It was 2 different ones.
Yeah, I have the all-time one, right? I have the all-time one in front of me right now.
The all-time one, man. I think that one might have got me like
190 comments. So yeah.
Of course. All right. So do you want to run through? Do you want to name?
Yeah, I'll run down the names off the list.
I don't have the list in front of me, so Payne.
I got it.
I had a list in front of me, man.
And it specifies not in order. You should have probably put that in all caps because someone's gonna have a problem like, oh, why is such and such over such and such? But NOG, Benzino, Dre Robinson, Sean Hines, M3, Terminology, Cool Jesus, Mantera, Tang the Juice, Twice Style, Big Shug, Guru, Acrobatic, Buff, Mr. Lift, KT, shout out my man KT.
KT, yep.
Oompa, Tony Rome, E. Burton, Last Days, Millies, Joyner Lucas, Avenue, Dutch Rebel, and
Rebel.
My fault. Dutch Rebel and Daniel Laurent. So it was listed from 25 to 1. Holy shit. Hello.
Let's stir the pot some more. So before we get into it, let me just ask. So out of those 25 that was listed, Leah, do you know those names?
I know a few.
A few meaning like 5, 10, 15?
Probably like 15.
I'm impressed. Okay.
That's
but she knows that for me.
Yeah, that's more than me.
That's my other nigga.
I know about 23 of them.
Wait. You heard that, right?
I'm gonna put my chair up.
I didn't hear that.
I didn't hear that. Nope.
I did. I'm just trying to put my fucking chair up.
Yeah.
I'm the one that don't miss nothing.
I'm not enabling nothing.
Jesus. Nah, me either.
Yeah. So yeah. So so the thing is, I'll say this. So how many comments was it?
190. And 2 people shared it, so God knows how many comments they got on there.
Right.
And that's not to mention like inboxes that I got or phone calls that I got about that.
Also,
like that really happened also. You know,
so this is the thing, and this is very similar to what I just said about LL, right? And I feel like I am extremely qualified and probably the most, right, to say what I'm going to say.
The most in which group?
I'm going to say.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, you have people that will comment and say, "What about such and such?" Or "How come such and such is on there? What about me? And I need to be on there. Everybody knows." And, you know, instead of just liking the post or commenting and saying salute, or dare share it on your platform and let people talk and let people say how much of a GOAT you are and that you should be on the list and not say it yourself, right? It's just interesting to me from a person that from the time I first came out, that pause. Jesus. So from the time when I first put out my first record and everything that I wanted to do with Masterpiece and how that was moving around on an independent level, all me, all my thoughts and efforts. I wanted to do a remix and wanted to have, you know, the people who laid the foundation and the newer guys that were coming up at that time kind of passing the torch. So I reached out to Acrobatic and Dre and Edo and was going to do a remix, right? Every record that I put out, and I stopped intentionally just because, but I had a town meeting on each album. And the town meeting was me literally taking every artist that was out at that time and putting them in a record that's similar to what I did with Masterpiece. So I am the only one that, not in a clout chasing way, but I was the only one that was saluting my fellow artists because I felt like we were a community. Yeah. It's not about if I rap the same as Slane or I rap the same as Edo or I rap the same as Act or if I could do the same thing that Oompa does. That was never a thing for me. It was always us as a collective. And with this hip hop community thing, if somebody makes it, it opens the door for the next person. So it boggles my mind that people go out of their way in every fucking aspect to downgrade somebody else.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's okay to shut the fuck up.
Talk your shit, baby.
So again, you can like you can like Maine's list. Make your own fucking list and put all your friends on it and all your friends, right? Or scroll to the next comment. Everyone doesn't have to comment. I promise you. I said this that night. Your list may, and I appreciated it because it was like, damn, like, okay, somebody sees me. But whenever it is talk about the top people in Boston, it always was for a long time, Dre, Smoke, and Frankie, right? Red, and shout to him with Team 220. Very strategic in how he placed Frankie in that conversation, right? Because he was early and didn't have the same time frame and work catalog to be in between those two, but he positioned them. That was very strategic. Mm-hmm. Good for him and salute. But it was always those top three. Term outworks most everybody. Term is not usually mentioned because he's not from here and he's from Lawrence and people feel a way about whatever. And Millie's is from Cambridge and he's not from, yo, salute. Motherfuckers are working day to day and trying to figure out whatever and got 6 babies' mothers and whatever and taking a bus and taking Ubers and people don't pursue their dreams. For the people that are still steadfast in chasing their dreams and trying to be creative and trying to do something, salute that and stop fucking going out of your way to tear it apart.
Yeah.
For those 198 comments, it just would be so beautiful for fucking flowers and salutes. And yo, man, that's dope, bro. Oh man, that's dope. I'm gonna make my own list, yo. Whose list is better? I'm gonna make my list tomorrow.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting, yo.
You don't have to, like we said before on our finale, you don't have to pull someone down to pull someone else up. Like
to big yourself up. Yeah, you don't have to pull someone down to big yourself up. You know what I mean? Like it seems to be hard. Pause. Like in the city for guys to do that. You know what I'm saying? Where they just
you have a lady in the room that you like. Do you have to say pause? Like if I can understand, like if it's all men. I'm sorry.
Nah, but if he's talking to you directly, he doesn't have to.
But I'm a part of this group right now. Okay?
Unless it's a train, you have to say pause. No, I'm saying that's the rules. Leah.
That ain't no rule.
If I'm talking to the screen with men and I'm like, yo, it's mad hard, I have to say pause.
I understand, but what I'm saying is, right? I'm here. I'm not a man. I don't got a dick. Okay.
Well, they don't know. It's 2023.
I'll tell you.
Yo.
They know.
Yo.
What? They know.
Yo.
What?
Yo.
They know.
You gotta relax.
We're going way off the rails.
Go ahead.
You gotta relax.
Flag on the play.
Okay.
I'll drink to that.
No, but seriously though, these lists are really just about celebrating the talent, the culture we have in the city. And it's really just about me just showing love more than anything, but also to get educated because there are some names that I don't know. You know what I mean? And so when people mention or tag someone else, it's like, okay, cool. I learned about what's my guy's name? He's a Dorchester guy, Cincinnati Rose. Like he's dope. I went and looked up his music after someone tagged him on the list. Like I'm a fan now. You know what I mean? Like that's the point of the list. You know what I'm saying? At least for me and my standpoint.
Let me put an asterisk to this and take Cincinnati. Even though I'm saying take it out, people are going to absolutely equate what I'm saying to him in his movement, right? But because you learn of someone now, does that mean that they are now on the list?
Right. It doesn't negate
right?
the list that you made.
When Complex makes their list, are they looking at fucking MC Blue Halab from down the street or are they looking at Wedlocked and Loaded as we are like growing and have us as the top podcast? Or are they having Joe Budden and Brilliant Idiots and fucking academics and blah, blah, blah. Right?
Yeah.
Like, so it again, and I'm coming from a place where like Chubb doesn't fuck with a lot of people and people have a lot of things to say about him for different, and I won't get into, I don't know his business practices. Right. But I appreciate that at least at the time that I knew of, just because you were from here, it wasn't getting you a cosign, right? He had to really like your shit in order to play it. So he was playing my record during the day and playing my instrumental and putting Mace's vocals on it and then flipping it. And like, I heard that, right? So it is what it, like, Chubb knows who I am. When he's doing his world tour with 50 Cent, do I think he's telling 50, yo, gotta fuck with my man DL, yo? No, and it's okay. It's literally okay, yo. It's okay.
Word.
Keep grinding, put your head down, keep figuring it out.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody that's doing it. Shout out to 8-Zip. His
Word.
whole movement.
Word.
I see him. Everyone sees him.
I fucks with, yeah.
Right?
Like 8-Zip.
It's okay, yo. Like, and believe me, especially in this cry for me space, it's a lonely space, as I said, because the guys that I thought was going to be like, yo, come with me, bro. Like, I appreciate you they're silent. They are not calling. They are not liking. They are not sharing posts. They are not commenting under my posts. It's radio silence. So I know what it's like when a person doesn't acknowledge, and I get it. However, if you are solely going by that as your determining factor of your relevance, then find something else to do.
Yeah.
As Charlemagne says in his book that I bought, fuck your dreams. Right? Fuck your dreams. Some people need to hear fuck your dreams and figure it out. Period. Pooh.
No poo, but
period poo. That's what.
But do you want to elaborate on the fuck your dreams?
No, I think it's interpretive. I think when Charlemagne said that, he was talking about him, but I come from a place of I was inspired by the greats, right? And I think every generation has their different things. So there are people who absolutely feel like Drake is their GOAT, right? or Little Baby is their GOAT. I come from Scarface. I come from Ice Cube. I come from people who could do something that I couldn't do, but I had to figure it out. I come from a place where we couldn't sound like somebody else. You would get clowned.
Right.
If I came sounding like Nas or Prodigy, I would get fucking laughed at.
Mm.
So it gives me a different perspective in the way I move. I come from, it was like the people I admired wasn't so big on being in the cameras. They would actually shy away from the cameras. You look at Snoop's older videos and he actually had his head down and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's actually like in today's times, it's like, holy shit, like look how pure that was. It was coming from a criminal element for
the
sure.
difference now is everybody, I think the difference
You know
now
what
is that
I'm saying?
everybody wants to be seen and everybody wants to be heard, even though
They ain't saying shit.
the words that they're saying don't have much substance, unfortunately.
I mean, it's all relative. You know what I'm saying? It's all.
I mean, and I'm not speaking of a
some-
specific person, but I'm just saying in general, like people just, especially now, like this social, even though we've been going on for however many years, we've been hip to this social media stuff, right? It's new and it's different, and people are still trying to figure it out and still trying to exist in this space with this tool without proper education on how to actually utilize it, right? And because of that, everything I do, I need to let people know. I need to let people see so that they can think that I'm living this life.
Right.
Because you know what? I'm seeing this shit on TV and I want to show that I'm a part of this.
Well, that's the sad part.
Yeah.
And you know,
That's just the time. That's just the times that we're in, unfortunately.
you know, there are certain people that I'm still so proud. Not proud, because I guess it's not. Like it gives me hope of like, wow, there's a way to age gracefully and to be cool still. You know what I'm saying? Like Ghostface to me is one of my favorites ever. You know what I'm saying? Like Ghost is Ghost.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. Now he had his moment when he was upset and he was like on live and he was going at was it Action Bronson or somebody? He was talking crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, you know, players fuck us. So it happens, right? But like I'm seeing like Nas, I'm seeing Jay, I'm seeing AZ. Even when AZ was on Math Hoffa's podcast and Math Hoffa was trying to bait him into some messy shit, and AZ is like, nah, you know what I mean? Like he is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Yeah.
And move like a drug. He talked like a drug dealer still, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
he's still in the street.
But I appreciate that. And I also appreciate people like Tretch and Mr. Cheeks, who really was living a certain way, but their music didn't reflect it. There's something to be said, like my English teacher, who's my mentor, Dr. Malcolm Bryant, says a true artist paints a picture of a better world. So we know when we go outside, we see syringes and we see crack vials and we see police brutality and we see broken windows. Yes. Now what? Right? Now what? So when you have people, and I just hate that in this hip hop space, there's always just one or two, right? So for years, where hip hop was like, we got conscious artists. What about Mos Def and Common? Now it's what about Kendrick and Cole?
Yeah.
What about the other fucking 50,000? Right? So be the change, and you know, this new year is definitely gonna be different for sure. But for me, on a personal level, as a man, I'm not fucking with a lot of people because I need to do Carfaxes to see where people's history aligns, right? And we use Carfax when it comes to women, right? We do.
Yo. Hey, yo.
But Carfax in a sense of you know, do you have history in battering or taking shit that don't belong to you? Do you have a history of causing trauma out here and causing additional victims that have to turn to survivors? Are you responsible for passing off trauma to people? And because that doesn't align with my moral compass, I can't fuck with you. I don't care how dope you are as a rapper. I'm all set. So you will see me alone. And that's that. Salute to everybody.
After your list, after we finish this topic number 2, we're going to talk about the Carfax for women.
Oh my God, Leah. That's not the point of that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean
kudos to you.
No, I mean we pretty much done with it. I don't know if you had the page pulled up still pain. I think I had the DJ's list, and you did mention Chubbs. And I actually did take Chubb off the list because he's not from Boston. And it was for Massachusetts DJs only.
But see, then you start that conversation of, you know, Bow Wow's not from Atlanta.
He's from New York.
Right? Chubb. Yeah, Chubb.
Chubb been here for more than half his life.
That's the thing. And he wears B hats. Does he wear B? He wears B hats, right?
Yeah.
Never. Does he?
Yeah.
I've never seen him.
He has.
I think so.
Chubb got plenty of B fitteds.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, he's not Boston like Jeff is Boston, right?
Yeah, no. He wasn't born and raised.
But I mean, look at the people who we love and who we associate them with. A lot of them are not from. I mean, we all know, but like Pac is associated with
Cali,
but he's from
born in New York.
Cali. Right.
So
Jordan was born in New York.
Yeah.
Who?
Michael Jordan was born in New York.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you?
I did know that. He was
Carmelo Anthony, right? As well.
Yeah, Brooklyn. Yeah. Melo too. Yeah.
Carmelo Anthony too. Yeah.
And I just found out Chris Tucker is from Atlanta.
Yeah.
I mean, I never like looked up and cared, but like I'm like, holy shit, he's from Atlanta. Atlanta got all the fucking.
I feel like if someone's been somewhere long enough to have their license in that state, or they've been there half their life, they're now from that state. So,
what they accomplish while they're there should not be taken away from them just because they weren't born there.
Java with Jimmy, shut up. Yeah, I said it.
I mean,
he's talking shit on my lot. Yeah, I said it, and I'm gonna say it again.
Yeah, I mean that's listen. He's not
y'all have no context, but he's talking crazy on my thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway,
we're gonna move on to the last one, anyways. Though
I still got that Carfax, but go ahead.
Leah, what do you need to say about Carfax?
I want to know.
Leah,
how you check the Carfax? We can go to Flowers. Let's go to Flowers.
Flowers, yeah, Flowers. And not the kind you buy in the dispensary either. Not those kind of flowers.
Ooh, well, I saw something over there, so I don't know what's going on that side, but I saw it. I did. I know.
I mean, but how you know they wanted everybody else to know?
It was on the camera. Yeah.
So
I mean, it is what it is. It was instant.
It was instant, bro.
Shout out to Charlie down Dudley. So,
I cannot even.
So with Flowers, and shout out to Jabba with Jimmy. You know what? Seeing he's on the thing, I think everything happens the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
You know, he had his last live broadcast today at GBH. And he was just really just showing his appreciation and highlighting people. And I want to give him flowers in the sense of during a pandemic, no one knew left from right and what we were going to do. Right. And thinking of something to do to keep your community informed and to keep the dialogue happening. And then that turns into a thing is super dope.
Yeah.
And it's super dope when you have the background and the foundation and the relationships to allow this thing to work. And so you're speaking from a place of knowing what you're talking about. and knowing the conversations that are important that mainstream media is not having. And so, you know, I'm super proud of where he has gone, especially in a year. So I want to definitely, you know, because he's on here, he's talking shit on my thing. I wanted to give him his flowers because I'm inspired and it's dope. And he fucks with me and he's open about it.
That don't deserve a pause.
He fucks with me. I mean, I guess so, but I'm trying to be so. Jesus Christ, Leah. So, you know, I think that and the line that I said in a record is public switch coat solidarity when in private, delusions of grandeurs playing out at its highest. And so for people to be vocal on who they align with and who they rock with means a lot.
Mm-hmm.
People to show up for you.
Word.
People to show up
for
for
other
you. Absolutely.
people means a lot.
Word.
You know?
Word.
And not just behind closed doors.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
So I have some others, but yeah, let's go around. Let's give some flowers out.
Oh man. Jesus Christ. No.
Oh man. Definitely want to give shout outs because I actually got a chance to catch a little bit of it. Was the parade over the weekend for the Dorchester Eagles.
Yeah.
And the Raiders. I believe the Raiders is what the
Boston Raiders.
Cheerleaders. Yeah, Boston cheerleaders.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely want to give big shout outs to both of them doing something unprecedented that's never happened before in the city. You know, with getting a Pop Warner national championship. That's super. That's so dope on so many levels, and to see friends of yours, children be a part of that, you know, is even more dope. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, big shout out to the Eagles and the Raiders for bringing it home. You know what I'm saying? Definitely shout out.
And someone that's on the live, you know, and I'm not necessarily just looking at who's on the live, and I want to now give them a shout out. But really quick, shout out to City Councilor Brian Worrell.
Hey,
and
Saturday.
Chris Worrell, and just what they are doing intentionally as brothers on state level and city level, in choosing to have a space in the community that's where their office is. So they're not hiding behind some big brick building. You have to go through security. You know what I'm saying? And you see them and you can see them and they listen and they understand and they empathize. And so people have this thing about politicians, right? And I don't subscribe to it because I genuinely don't believe it. People believe all politicians are full of shit. What I will say is that people often will make promises that they then realize they can't keep. Right? You realize really quickly when you're behind those doors that you can't keep said promise. But I feel like if you are transparent with the people and then you figure out workarounds, that's your character. That's what defines you. And if you are a kind person and a person of empathy, for me, that means a lot. You know, so I wanted to salute them too, for sure.
Yeah. Big shout to
Word
them.
up. They were there Saturday too. Saw both of them along the trail with the Eagles and the Raiders. You know what I mean? So definitely shout out to the World Brothers. Word up. Great guys.
I mean, I was caught off guard by this. I didn't know we was doing this, but I just want to give a shout out on a more personal level to my kids and my nephew. My oldest doing a great job as a mother, and she's expecting baby number 2 in April. So I'm being
Oh, that's why you got Grace. I see.
Oh no, I got Grace because of the 3 daughters.
With the strap.
Yeah, and my youngest daughter, who's 24, and my nephew, who just turned 23, they used to be heavy weed heads. They both just decided to stop smoking because of reasons. So, and I know adults that, like grown people that are older than them, that struggle with quitting, and they both been on their job with not smoking anymore, making sure they're doing what they need to do.
That's
and
dope.
That's dope.
Yeah, so it's dope to see like them evolve and grow in front of your eyes without you having to push them. Because I was getting kind of annoyed trying to push them in certain directions with stuff, and now I see them doing it on their own. So I'm like, all right, yeah, now the training wheels are really off. I'm watching y'all now. So shout out to them.
Hightower.
I mean, I don't have any flowers specifically. I mean, I'll give shout outs to the
damn, you're an Undertaker.
To the Wiz, yeah. I mean, I'll give him to the Wiz, my wife. And for no other reason than just being my wife, you know what I mean?
Damn.
You know, that's what we're doing over here. But I don't have anything else outside of what's been going on in the city. I mean,
all right, well, give her applause then.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to have you sleep on the couch. Real. That couch, but you wake up with a backache. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So in line with the Eagles, shout out to, and I know man, you was gonna shout out to Mick.
Shout out to the homie Mick the mayor. He was a hero among us at the Garden at the Celtics game last week. You know what I mean? He's not Pop Warner. He's not Pop Warner. He's AYF, something like that. So they do the other league of what Pop Warner is, and it's like
they have Mattapan Patriots.
Yeah, Mattapan Patriots.
Oh, they went down to Florida too. They didn't bring it home, but you know that was a big deal for them to go down there.
Yep.
And you know, for him, shout out to Beef, shout out to Hearst. You know, it's important for the people who we celebrate or we talk to, and whether it's, you know, the Warrell brothers or shout out to Julia Mejia, Counselor Julia Mejia on her win and re-election, Counselor Rusi Lujin, you know, but you have people who are working directly with young people who are dealing with single parent homes, no parent homes, domestic violence, sexual abuse, drug addiction, losing their friends. You know what I'm saying? You're dealing with these young people and actually being a beacon of light for however limited time that you have them. And so it's unbelievable of what they're doing, and they are the real heroes. And not all heroes have capes. That's the saying, right?
Yeah.
But you know, shout out to them.
Big shout out Sean Brown from BAM. I know he was recently acknowledged out at Patriots Stadium over the weekend. He had his lovely wife and his sons and his daughters out there, you know, coming from the great community of Dorchester. You know what I mean?
Really,
good to see my guys out there.
All right, cut the live off, guys.
Like,
you know real
what I mean? Listen, you know how. Listen, Dorchester, we up over here right now. NBA champion on this side with Bruce Brown. Like it's a lot of good things going on this side. So yeah, definitely want to shout out Shiz Brown and Bam and everything that he's doing.
And Wow too.
For young people. Yeah, and Wow
Bam,
also.
Bam's and Wow, yep. And so you brought up Dorchester, which, you know, it like even when I say it, it's like I got cotton mouth. You know what I mean?
I was mistaken for your hat. You know what I'm saying? I saw your hat on your head. I was like, oh, okay, you don't finally came to the right side. You know what I'm saying? Like, I saw the hat. I was like, okay, you came to the right side.
Yeah,
it was only a matter of time.
Nah, that's cool. No way. Never. And in the words of Queen's Flip, never. But speaking of Dorchester, just wanted to shout out Jeff 2 times and give condolences. You know, he lost his family recently, and so I just wanted to give space for her, Felicia Neal. You know, they had the service today, so you know, I wanted to send love to him, send flowers to him, legendary Jeff 2 times. You know, and I think that we have lost so many where it's just like 2023 is ripping people. I mean, awesome. What's that movie? I can't think of the movie, you know, and I don't want to waste that space, but it was something where it was like ripping. Fuck, I can't remember it, but I do.
I know what you're talking about. It's like basically just pulling people right off the earth.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's okay. We got it.
Anyway, don't patronize me.
I'm not. I'm saying we got it. It's okay.
You hear? Oh shit! You know what? Let me take your cue. I want to give flowers to my wife.
You better. That should have been your
So Jesus Christ, my kids are.
That's okay.
Jesus. So you know what I will say is that you know, and I don't lead with this story, but I think it's just very interesting and it's the truth, and I think it shows the strength and the support, and just again, when you have a plan, you know, God comes in and it is what it is. Mike Tyson says you have a plan. Everyone has a plan till they get punched in the face, right? And so the plan for Cry for Me looked one way. It fell apart literally 2 days before we were going to film. And Leah simply said, like, how can I help? Right. And she, as much as she's front facing in certain spaces, she's still an introvert. And so I didn't think to have her be involved in this journey, but being involved in this journey, can you at least like,
I'm listening.
Yo,
got you.
It's ADD.
Yes.
Jesus.
So, are you knocking my shit?
But being in this journey and being in this role, even a story that she shared tonight, it has allowed her to be a different kind of advocate and a beacon of hope and an inspiration for others. And so I didn't think that was going to be a byproduct of it, right? But I'm appreciative of it. And even for Chuck to come in and say what he said, I'm like, holy shit, like that's kind of heavy, right? Because I'm not thinking that way. But I want to say thank you, and I appreciate you, and I, you know, I'm unlearning. So there's a lot of things that I thought was okay, and I thought was cool, and I thought was funny.
Mm-hmm.
However, I realized it's at the detriment of, you know, our productivity. So I want to, you know, appreciate you and give you your flowers. Yeah, that's gonna help. Word, you hear that?
You know,
you got gunshots too.
You know how to do it. Along with those flowers, I'll take a flight. But
oh my God,
are you done?
I'm done.
All right.
Flowers.
I still have some flowers. I have some flowers and I have some big ups, some shout outs. I have all the things. And I'm sure I'm going to forget some people. But with that being said, if I do forget you, please don't charge it to my heart. Charge it to my head. Okay.
That's so cliche. Capola.
It is what it is. And you know, if I rock with you, I rock with you the long way. So this is no slight to anybody. But along those same lines, right? I want to give flowers to those who have embraced us in a real way with this short film. And so with that being said, Laverne Gordon from Love Life Now Foundation, Shakira from Shakira's Story, and
Charmaine.
I got this. I got it right here.
I was trying to.
I got this.
You have some in your throat.
Anyway.
Well, that could be a pause.
Charmaine, author from the Freedom House. And again, this list is not, I'm not saying this list in a particular order. Like this is not a ranking thing, right? This is just me sharing what I'm sharing. Okay. Charmaine, author from the Freedom House. I have some sisters that are doing some amazing things out there in this world. And so shout out to or flowers to my girls that run Boss Beauty Women's Network. Hail with Carmen B. and Bite Ventures, who is going in the community and teaching young our youth about coding and just, you know, bringing them up to speed with the technology, showing them how to use it in the right way, and in a way where it can be financially beneficial to them, right, in the long run and even right now. And shout out to everybody that has supported your girl with Contour Creations. I appreciate you in a real way. Thank you.
I don't know if I appreciate
it. It ain't for you though.
My house looks like Charlene's basement.
It ain't for you.
But I digress. But shout out to you, Maine, all forked up.
Absolutely.
Your big ass billboard in Eggleston. Is it still there? It's still there, right?
It's still there.
So, you know,
so. I haven't wrote down there in a minute.
People at the red light, minding their own business, listening to radio, maybe texting while they're driving. They look up and they see your face right there, right? So salute to you. And, you know, I drove by Future Chefs earlier this evening or whatever, and just seeing young people learning the art of cooking and
the foundation,
just the foundation of it, right? And seeing young men there and seeing, like, you know, because it's all this hot girl summer, Cardi B, I don't know how to cook, I don't know how to clean, but I got myself a ring and all this bullshit, right? And salute to them too. But Big Mama and what she prepared is lost. So to see young people actually taking a learning and taking a love of the art of cooking, and whether you can cook all things or you can bake a pie, right? For you to lead and work with young people in particular, salute to you, and that's flowers. Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Actually, wasn't done.
You were done.
I wasn't, because I wanted to give you your flowers. Right?
Oh shit! Yeah. Hold on. Okay.
So, with you, babe, for not only what you're doing right now, but just with your overall growth, right? As a man, as a husband, and as a father. I see the change in you. I see the change that you want to see in this world. And I salute you for being that. Christmas is coming.
Oh my
no,
God.
I'm just kidding. No,
every kiss begins with K.
Oh my God.
No, I'm just
kind of. I know. So we did the year. Shout out to Lika. She's rolling in the comments. So we did the wrap up. 5 through 1.
We didn't talk about the Carfax, but go ahead.
Leah, do you want to end the show with that?
Absolutely, why not?
Go on.
But it's not for me to say, because I just want an understanding of what those.
I think you know what it is.
I don't.
What's your what's your cemetery look like?
I don't know.
Jesus. Yo, Jesus.
I don't understand.
Yo,
what?
Yo, wedlock.
If you don't own a cemetery, what's your mausoleum like?
I don't have one either.
I think, there's a lot of mausoleums. And so
I've been to one, but I don't own one.
Hey, man, that's it. I think when you say Carfax, you either know or you don't know. And I don't think it's like Fight Club. We don't talk about it. It just is what it is.
How do you check the Carfax?
On the Carfax, when you buy a car from the dealership, it tells you how much mileage is on it and how many times the car been hit.
Oh.
I want to say I don't even know.
Yeah,
you don't even want to know those. Listen,
yeah, that's
you
nothing else to say.
Know those numbers.
Yeah.
What does that do for you? Does that make you not deal?
We make an informed decision, right?
I honestly don't.
I'm saying back in the day, what did that do for you?
Even back in the day, I didn't ask that question.
I didn't matter to me. I was just glad to be rolling.
All right.
I didn't care about that because I know what I was knocking down. So it was all good.
I think, I think it's important, and in the words of Leah, she said this on millions of shows. I think that it's important to know, and you have an informed decision. So I would like to know if my car was the salvage title, right? And so if it's salvage, then I know that the insurance is going to be a little different, and I'm prepared for that. However, if I think I have a brand new car that has no accidents and high mileage, and then I go to insure it, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? Airbag deployed, blah, blah, blah. The bumper fell off. Then I'm going to be a little upset.
You're going to be like, party?
It's a great way to close. Thanks.
Yeah. Oh man, yo, this has been one for the books.
So when do y'all come back for the when do you start the season off?
We haven't decided yet. We're thinking probably early February.
Yeah, into January.
Early February.
Well, that's what's up. After the holidays,
All right. So what we got to do is, and we'll figure out and put something together offline of having a flip and bringing, because I seen that y'all, and I want to watch it. I'm gonna watch it tonight. Actually, I seen that y'all did with Deanna.
Yeah.
Right. I can't imagine. So I don't even want to know. I'm just gonna watch. But I think
it was a good one. It was a good one.
We'll bring you into the wedlock world, have that discussion, because I think that'll be dope. Because sometimes I need some backup because Leah is extremely out of line.
I'm right on cue, baby.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. So salute to
It's 10 o'clock.
Oh damn! So salute to everybody. So much for our original plan, but I think this
yo, so much for the original plan.
Yeah.
This needed to happen. I think it was important. And then we had some technical stuff, so whatever.
100%.
But shout out to everybody, man. Hopefully everyone has a happy, healthy, bring in the holidays. Take care of yourself. Be kind. Whatever your fitness and wellness looks like, whether it's drinking X amount of water, whether it's taking vitamins, like that's important. So many of us are dying at fucking 45 and 50 and 51. It's right around the corner for most of us.
Mm-hmm.
And just like be kind, don't spend your days being angry and hateful, and envious, and like try to laugh and celebrate.
Yeah.
And so, that's my piece, I'll say.
All right. I'm gonna say, in this season right now that we are in, with the holidays, I know that it's hard for those who have lost loved ones and close ones. But I also know that just being here in the physical is also hard with inflation, with just everyday life stresses. So while you are busy trying to love on others, do not forget yourself, right? Give yourself some grace and give yourself that extra love. And it's okay if you do. And if that means, having a moment of solitude, take that. You've earned it. You deserve it. It's yours. Pour into you, allow others to pour into you. And so that you can continue to be that, whatever it is and who you are for those around you.
Take that.
I think that's a great way to end it.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
I taught her well. Sometimes she'll say like some really good shit. You know what I mean? So good for you, babe. Again, more flowers for you. Thank you.
You know how to pay me.
All right, guys.
Our minds wedlocked and loaded, man. This is one for the books.
For sure.
Yes.
Audio video is gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Happy New Year to everybody,
Yeah.
man.
New Year,
Salute.
man.
Salute.
You already know, man.
Holidays.
All right, y'all. Love
All
y'all,
right.
man.
All right.
Peace and
Good
love,
night.
man.
Love you. Peace
Word.
and love.
Wedlocked and loaded.
Well, locked and loaded.